In today's video, I'm going to be using the Bowbrez loadout, which is a solid loadout for solos. It is the hunting bow with the Obrez, hence the name Bowbrez. It is good for close range, medium range, and long range. Because close range, mostly use the bow, but you can also hit some shots at medium, surprisingly. Causes bleed, and then you have the Obrez for long range pen shots and medium shots. So it's a pretty versatile loadout, depending on whatever hunter team you come across and whatever setup they have, you can kind of fight any team. It's pretty nice. I'd say the only team you can't fight is super long range, like snipers, because the Obrez just doesn't have that range. And I'm not that great at aiming, so I'm not going to hit somebody that's 200 meters out with the scope. For tools, I use the knuckle knife, which is good for versatility for AI. You can kill the immolators by punching them, and you can kill dogs by stabbing them twice. It's just a good versatile weapon. It's not very good for PvP. I get a lot of stabs and not killing them, so just keep that in mind if you use the knuckle knife. It's not the best for PvP, but it's great for AI. Classic medkit's the next thing, and then most importantly on the tools here is the trap, the death trap combination, which is the poison trip mine and the concertina trap. It's perfect for being a solo because you can kind of set up the compound if you get ahead of everybody and get some easy trap kills as long as you kind of know the compound and you know the most commonly traveled areas. You can also use it as a ambush, kind of trap around where you're going to ambush in case you miss or you get rushed by a shotgun. You can place them in strategic areas where they run into them when they're pushing you. It's pretty nice. And then for consumables, usually I use a stamina shot if I don't have conduit, but I have conduit on this hunter, so I don't need one. So I just picked a contraband weapon, but at the same time I went with liquid firebomb because it's nice to burn enemy hunters, especially if they're split. You can burn one hunter and make the other one go and choke, so it kind of gives away their position if you don't know where they're at. For the second one, I go with the full health shot. You can go, it's just personal preference here. Sometimes I go weak shot if I'm low on money, sometimes I go regen shot, but most of the time I do health shot, and it's just kind of personal preference with that. With the frag grenade, I like it because it pens wood and it causes bleed. So if you can hit somebody with it, they have to stop the bleed, so you can put pressure on them. And then you have the Obrez, where you can wall pen too, so it's kind of nice, good combination. And then for the flash bomb, which is one of the staples of this loadout, if you can drop, well, the staple of any solo loadout, to be honest, if you can drop one of the hunters like with an ambush and it turns it into a 1v1 or 1v1, you can flash the second hunter and get an easy kill. So it's a pretty good cleanup consumable, and it's probably honestly the most overpowered thing in the game. It should probably be nerfed, but that's a conversation for another day. Anyway, let's get started. Alrighty, so here I hear some gunshots up ahead here in Weeping. So I'm just trying to get a good shot and take down one of them. I can hear them running up ahead in the building. And now I'm going to check the windows and see if they're not looking out, just to make sure they don't shoot me when I'm sneaking up on them. It's kind of hard to hear because that water wheel behind me, but I'm doing the best I can here. Now I can hear them running outside, and they actually step in the choke bomb, so that's pretty nice for me. I see that Kane there is looting. I don't take the shot on him. I wait for another shot. Take that one down there. Now I'm going to push forward here. I don't want to be too careless, because that Kane could have a shotgun. So I'm not sure if he's behind the fence or if he's off in that little nook to the right hand side. So I'm just waiting here to see if I can hear him. He's staying pretty quiet. And I'm jumping there because I have the trait Lightfoot, and if you jump, it makes no noise. But then I realized that there's a choke bomb, so it's kind of covering my footsteps, so I can move around a little bit unheard. See, I'm still not sure if he's out by the bridge, if he's outside the fence, where he's at specifically. I'm just waiting to hear where he's at. I can hear him creeping. Alright, I'm gonna take out my close range weapon so I can one-tap him if I hit him in the chest, which is the beauty of the bow. Yeah, I read there here that he has a bomb lance, so we both missed there. I know that he has the bomb lance, so he has to reload. So I push down, and I missed the shot, and died.
No, dude, don't!
That's Hunt Showdown for you. Sometimes you can have prayer positioning and just completely fail on the shot. It's a part of the game. It happens, but luckily I am able to get up with Necromancer here in a short minute. And so now I'm getting up. I'm not sure if they're still around me. I couldn't hear because of the burning. Don't hear anybody yet, so decided to check this body, but it's burned out. Now I know that they must have went north. So now I'm headed to a supply drop just to get some more ammo. And I hear a gunshot up ahead, so I know that there's a team shooting and it sounds like a Winfield. And I wrap around. I see him there, and I'm just waiting to take the perfect shot. Got him. I'm just trying to listen for his teammate. And I could hear his teammate on the other side of this mound here. So I decided to throw the flash, which is the ultimate one-on-one. Dead. Now I know that they were shooting at another team. So the other team will probably come this way. So I'm trying to think here. You know, what should I do? Should I stand at the top of the hill? What should I do? I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. And ultimately, I decide to set a trap. And that is the power of the Bowbrez. I one-tapped him in the head, switched to the bow, and got him with the body shot. And there's the comeback. Went from burning to death, almost down to a 50 bar, to winning the match, killing Scrappy, and Extract. So in this one, I hear a spawn fight over at Raynard Mill number, and I spawned over on Blanchett, so I came over, see if I could third party. And I run into these guys. Able to use the Obrez and put him down. I hear his buddies over there. Sounds like he has a crag, I believe. I forget, but I think it's a crag. Go to flash, don't get anything. Misses. Headshot. Alright, so this is the next fight. Right after that last fight. I come over here to Darrow, and there's a team inside the boss lair. And right now I'm just kind of creeping around to see if I can hear where they're at. Now I can hear that they're moving around above me. And also, on this hunter, I forgot to get Lightfoot or Necromancer, so it's basically just a fresh legendary hunter with the 3 random traits. So I don't have Lightfoot, so I gotta be careful going up this ladder. I slowly tap up the ladder. But once the spider starts screaming, then I can go up, you know, without fear of them hearing me. Now I'm going to move up here and see if I can shoot them through the crack and get a quick headshot. One should be popping out here. Just a second. And I am just too low for a headshot, unfortunately. And now I'm grabbing this lantern so I can cover my footsteps and rotate around. Since I don't have Lightfoot, I can use the noise of the fire and the banishing to cover my footsteps. There's a hole up top that I'm worried about getting shot at, which is why I look up and don't see him there. Their footsteps don't line up over there either. I'm not too worried about it. Footsteps in Hunt have been a little weird lately, so I think they're upstairs, but I don't know for sure, because sometimes they're downstairs and it sounds like they're upstairs, so I don't really trust the sound 100%. That's why I'm a little weary here when I'm looking through these windows. I'm not exactly sure if they're downstairs or if they're upstairs. And that cloth up there is actually an angle to shoot them when they're walking upstairs, which is kind of why I end up holding my cursor in between the cloth and the bottom floor, just so I can be ready to flick if I need to. I'm also not using my bow here because those chains can sometimes mess with the arrow. I don't want it to block my shot, so I'm using the Obrez so it can pen through the chains and not have that issue. And a lot of times in Hunt, as a solo, patience is key. You don't want to push in like a madman, you know? When you're sometimes in duos and trios, you can push as a team and steamroll or snowball them. But in solos, you want to be a little bit more tactful. And here I'm wanting to throw this grenade up through that hole, but I don't have pitcher, and it's just not far enough. It would be perfect if I could, because it would actually drop down right on their heads. Now here I want to make sure they're on the right side. I'm not really sure why I climbed this ladder, but I did. I'm like, yeah, that's not a good idea. So I jumped back down. Now I'm like, alright, so I know that for most part they're upstairs. It sounds like they're upstairs. You can actually see one moving right there, and I just missed it at the time. I didn't even see him, but I had a general idea that they were up there. And here I was just being double cautious, making sure nobody was downstairs, and caught me off guard. And then there's that person, dead. And then the next one is dead. And that's the power of the bow right there. You can get the Bowbrez, which, you know, good. It can hold up to long ammo fights, and it can also push boss layers, so it's perfect.